anyway, I was just giving the folks a rundown on B.F. Skinner.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to Common Core was a 50-state strategy.
Yeah.
Okay. In order to have a 50-state strategy, you have to have standardization. You have to have every state be the same. You have to have the data elements the same. You have to have a micro record. It has to be on an individual. So the second thing that was absolutely needed for compliance on individuals was an executive order by the president to change the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, which is FERPA, okay? So you had to change FERPA that used to protect children and families, that now he calls it unlocking the data, so third-party contractors can access personally identifiable information on children, including biometric data, okay? So everything is up for grabs in education. So you have all the psychological data being collected. You now have more information on biometrics that are being done. Children, how they, with the computers, they are able to see, does a child look frustrated when they're doing something? How is their eye contact?
Oh, no.
Are they emotional while they do a test? So all of this information is being collected. And of course, the definition of personally identifiable information, and I have it here. I want to read it to you. This is according to federal law under FERPA, Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. So personally identifiable information is a student's name, their parents, family members, address, which would include zip code, blah, 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 birth date, personal identifiers. Okay, so when they include a social security number, a student number, or a biometric record, the definition of biometric record is a record of one or more measurable biological or behavioral characteristics that can be used for automated recognition of an individual. Examples are fingerprints, retina, iris scans, iris patterns, voice prints, DNA sequences, facial characteristics, and handwriting. This is now all allowed to be shared without parental consent, disclosure to school officials. So the definition of school official is, get this, a contractor, a consultant, a volunteer, or any other party to whom an agency or institution has outsourced services or functions are considered a school official. So when that happened in FERPA, I went berserk. I've written quite a few articles on unlocking the data. I've been trying to expose this, and it's been a very difficult way to try to explain, because it's a little technical, but people need to understand that this information is being collected. So what did Obama do after he unlocked the data? He allowed the National Center of Education Statistics to do grants to every state, and I mean every state. Every state has a grant for a state longitudinal data system that sets up a national ID for every person, birth through the workplace. And we have these grants. So not only is this a womb to work place, it connects all of the different other agencies, Health and Human Services, the Department of Labor to collect wages. Of course, you realize once they take that step to collect information on wages, they're collecting information on human capital, okay? What is your worth to the economy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, and then, of course, the third thing that he did was grant, well, actually, Secretary of Education Arne Duncan did this. They took the Title I, okay? This was the original poverty guidelines under the Johnson administration called ESA, Elementary and Secondary Education Act. And he allowed waivers. So now we have waivers from the federal government to all of this money being given to the different states. And this money now allows and blankets Common Core. Let me explain how this was done. So this waiver is given, for example, to the state of Pennsylvania and all the other different states. And what it says in the waiver is that you no longer have to have 40% of free and reduced lunch. Okay, and that's how Title I was done before. So if you have Title I children, they get free and reduced lunch. This is how they get the free breakfast and the free lunch at school. And they also get remediation, usually in reading.
Yeah, they're working on free dinner now.
Free dinner, absolutely. Yeah. So what Secretary Duncan did in his waiver, he lowered the 40% to 0. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Common Core blankets a whole entire school and captures every child under Common Core.
Perfect.
So every child is at risk. Every child is educationally deprived. Every child in the United States, because they have to meet the Common Core standards. You're thinking.
This is terrible.
This is the agenda, okay? And it's